All right, sounds good. Good morning, everyone. Glad that you can be here with us today. My name is Rick Callender. I'm the CEO of Valley Water, and I get the pleasure of being able to be your MC today. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get right into this. It's always exciting to see a new project come online, and it's even more exciting when it was a project that you promised to the voters that we were going to complete, that we're going to do, and the voters have stepped up to vote more than excess of 74%. And now the last project, Safe Clean Water, excess of 75%. So all this does is create confidence in Valley Water and the kind of promises and the projects that we make to the voters. I was trying to figure out how many other virtual ribbon cuttings we had during the course of Zooms. I'm sure there's been many other ribbon cuttings. You are actually part of our first virtual flood protection ribbon cutting. So congratulations in being here, and we're very happy that we can share this with you. I do want to thank our partner agencies for being here today, Santa Clara County Parks and the Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District, and you'll be hearing from some of their leadership just a little bit today. We are going to have two videos that we'll be able to share with you today for this program. First, you're going to see a beautiful aerial view of the completed Permanente Creek Flood Protection Project, as well as the virtual ribbon cutting. But I'm going to go ahead and move directly into our Vice Chair, Director Gary Kremen, and ask him to make a few comments about the project. Director Kremen, our Vice Chair Kremen.
Yes, well, thank you, MC Rick. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gary Kremen. I have that privilege to be the Vice Chair this year of Valley Water. I represent Mountain View, Palo Alto, Los Altos Hills, Los Gatos, Monte Sereno, parts of San Jose, down in Almaden Valley. And part of this project, which yay, today's the ribbon cutting day, the Permanente Creek Flood Protection Project. Some of you on this video might recall that we had a groundbreaking, and now we're at the end, indoors in 2017, in the middle of some fierce rainstorms. Well, now we're not in the middle of rainstorms. We're staring down at an extreme drought. More about that later. Times since then have changed. Since then, we've had COVID, we've had some economic downturns, and this severe local drought. Despite these challenges, trying to do construction under COVID, challenges at the site, we're now done with the Rancho San Antonio Detention Basin, which is the last part of the Permanente Creek Flood Protection Project. So it's done, yay. So for decades, businesses and homes along Permanente and Los Altos and Mountain View have been susceptible to flooding. In fact, Permanente Creek experienced significant flooding on 11 occasions. And what this means is folks that have mortgages had to go buy very expensive flood insurance. So stay tuned what's going to happen. Now, this project now provides flood protection for about 2,200 homes in Los Altos and Mountain View. And once FEMA updates their insurance map, hopefully most of these property owners, if not all, will no longer be required to carry flood insurance, which is money directly back into their pocket. So not only are homeowners and business owners served by this project has tons of benefits for people like myself and my family who use the park in the local environment. So if you've ever been there, there was this old parking lot, which now we've done, I'm going to call it the holy grail of Rancho San Antonio, added more paved parking spaces. Now there's stalls for equestrians and restrooms, which used to be, I refer to them as science experiments. Now they're clean, ADA compliant restrooms. And now there's native trees, over 200 of them. There's plants, there's new trails, there's a maintenance bridge. So I want to thank a bunch of people who helped make this project possible. Of course, first, it's the voters here. So by voting on the Safe Clean Water and Natural Flood Protection Program in 2012, we got $93 million to get this project done. I mean, these projects in urban areas, any projects in California, are expensive. And now that the voters voted again to renew renew flood protection and clean water, This is kind of the reward. So thank you, voters, number one. Number two is thank Mid-Peninsula Open Space District for their patience and support during construction. The reward will be parking improvements, better restrooms. That will make a difference to visitors. And third of all, Santa Clara County Parks. What a great agency. So thank you for approving the project and being our partner, not only on this project, but on many other projects that give flood protection. And for, of course, the staff, Valley Water staff. It's been a tough project, complicated in the middle of the urban, next to people's backyards, and working through that. And of course, thank you for the neighbors. So that's some of the people I'd like to thank. And as we did in February 20, wait, is that it? Oh, so thank you. Sorry, I had a little script and I got trying to do my own thing. So in any case, in 2020, in February, we got McKelvey Park Detention Basin, which is part of this project that's downstream, which I urge you all to visit. So not only is it a flood detention control basin, but it's super cool baseball fields. Before that, in 2018, we widened and deepened Permanente and Hale Creeks, which is upstream of Mountain View Avenue, all the way to McKelvey Park. And in that year, in April, we did levee improvements, Permanente Creek, and those are downstream of 101. Now that this infrastructure is in place, businesses, homes along Permanente Creek, all the way from the southwest shoreline of San Francisco Bay through Mountain View, through Foothill Expressway, are now protected. So thank you for your support of this critical project. Back to MC Rick.
All right, thank you, Vice Chair Kremen. Indeed, you are correct to point out this is a very complicated project, and I agree that Valley Water staff did a wonderful job. And thank you for your leadership. You've truly been a leader in your community and helped to smooth this along as well. So thank you for everything that you've done. I'd like to introduce now the immediate past chair of our board of directors, and Director Shua, who's the currently director representing a portion of this area as well. Director Shua.
Thank you, Rick. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Nai Xue. I represent District 5 on the Santa Clara Valley Water District Board of Directors. District 5 includes Saratoga, Cupertino, Sunnyvale south of Central Expressway, and West San Jose. It's very exciting to be here today to celebrate the completion of San Antonio Detention Basin, and then of course the entire Permanente Creek flood protection project. This flood protection project is very special in many ways, as Vice Chair Kremen just alluded about it. But I'd like to add two more special aspects of the project for all of you. The first one is that this project is funded 100% by local dollars. There's no federal funding, no state funding, totally local funding within Santa Clara County. As Vice Chair mentioned earlier, the source of this local funding comes primarily through the voter-approved Safe Clean Water program. And also, City of Mountain View contributed about $1 million to this project. So thank you, voters of Santa Clara County, for your support, and City of Mountain View for your contribution. The second special aspect of this project is that from the functional perspective, this project is very special because it applies the watershed-wide solution to flood protection. This project protects many homes and business from flooding. I think Vice Chair Kremen just mentioned about 20 to 100 of them. But the key concept of this flood protection is temporary holding of the peak flow at the San Antonio detention basin during severe storm events. As we know that the parcels that will be protected by this project are located primarily toward the downstream side of the watershed. And then this detention basin is located toward the very upstream end of the watershed. So every community within the watershed contributed together to this overall solution. That's why I said it's a watershed-wide solution. So I like to give a special shout out to the city of Cupertino, the communities live within Cupertino, all the park users of San Antonio Park, and the neighbors to San Antonio Park, particularly the Catholic Diocese of San Jose. Thank you for your endurance of inconveniences doing construction. Even some of you are not located within the floodplain. And of course that this watershed-wide solution cannot be accomplished without the support of our partner, County of Santa Clara, who owns the San Antonio Park, and Mid-Peninsula Open Space Authority, who manages the San Antonio Park. And many of our regulatory agencies, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, California Department of Fish and Wildlife, and San Francisco Bay Regional Water Quality Control Board. All of your partnership and leadership are greatly appreciated. Without that, this project cannot be completed. So again, thank everybody for being here today. Back to you, Mr. Callender.
I was on mute. I thought I'd taken myself off. Thank you, Director Shaw. As a longtime past member of staff, I know you have a unique perspective and appreciation for what it takes to really be able to complete these flood protection projects. So thank you for your extensive experience and your past leadership, both on staff and on the board, to make this and many other projects happen in our community. And as you pointed out, it's truly teamwork and partnerships that give us the ability to work together towards a common vision. And the next person I'll be introducing, I've had the pleasure and the opportunity to work with towards partnerships on how Valley Water and how county parks can be to work as one, and how we can work truly as partners. And so Don Rocha, I'd like to ask him to come to the microphone as Director of County Parks. Thank you for your partnership, and thank you for your leadership in making sure that this project happens. Don?
Thank you, Rick. And it's definitely my pleasure to be here. This is just yet another example of how well agencies come together around that common goal and define multiple aspects of where we can, find that common ground, that we can create these great assets for the community, and blending these protection of resources, enhancement of resources, as well as finding that balance with park access and ensuring park access for future generations to enjoy these amenities. Again, thank you for having me here today. It's such a great pleasure to be here on this wonderful day where we're recognizing this successful partnership, where we can blend that flood protection, park protection, access, and enjoyment, which in some cases may not seem that those are things that blend very well together, but working together with Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District, working with Valley Water and the Parks Department, we were very successful in bringing this together. For the park visitors and members of the audience here today, it's important to understand that this detention basin located within a county park where a meadow previously existed does truly represent the successful partnership between the community, Valley Water, county parks, and Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District. As mentioned previously, the partners, especially the agencies, are all accountable to you, our visitors and residents, when it comes to your parklands and projects like this. Together, we must ensure that you always have access to these parks and that this new basin enhances and did not just detract from the visitor enjoyment of the park. And of course, I believe we were very successful in pulling that off. In collaboration with all the partners, we work together to ensure that the visitors and residents continue to enjoy the park and the open space areas. The basin and surrounding improvements as part of Rancho San Antonio County Park, just as they once were enjoyed in the meadow, this basin now provides that added benefit of not only enhancing the habitat, but providing the flood management as was previously described. So jointly, we welcome you to enjoy these new amenities, the improved trails, the staging area, the habitat improvements, and the newly constructed restroom, which is a great new feature for that park. And to continue communicating with us so that we can successfully fulfill that joint commitment to integrate this basin into the park and into the enjoyment for this and future generations. And again, it's my extreme pleasure to be here today and the partnership and how well it worked. This is just another great example of our agencies coming together to provide it to the needs of the community. So thank you, Mr. Callender, for having me here today.
All right, and thank you for you and County Parks for both your leadership and your partnership. It's truly made a difference. Another public agency has been very supportive of our mission, very supportive of our projects. They've supported our past safe clean water measures. I know they provide the day-to-day management of the park that's there. And they understood that the passage of safe, clean water would mean nothing but benefits for our mutual constituents of both the agencies. So I do want to thank Mid-Peninsula for all their leadership. And I'd like Brian Malone, the Assistant General Manager for the Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District. He'd be our last speaker today. Brian, turn it all over to you.
Thank you very much. So the Open Space District manages the county park through an agreement with county parks, and as well as the 4,000-acre Rancho San Antonio Open Space Preserve. And we are very happy to partner with Valley Water and County Parks on their project to improve flood protection. One of the best things that was done with the schedule was that the new parking lot and restroom were constructed prior to the detention basin, so that minimized the disruption to park visitors and preserve visitors. It really made it smooth where there really wasn't any impact as far as coming and being able to park and enjoy the county Rancho San Antonio in all its glory. Earlier, the new restroom was referred to a Rancho's crown jewel. I'd probably disagree. I'd nominate the view from Wildcat Loop or Deanza Knoll as one of our crown jewels. But the visitors definitely appreciate having a beautiful new restroom and new parking facilities. It's also great to see the new trails open up and reconnecting the park and preserve to adjacent neighborhoods. I was out and really enjoyed a very short loop, mostly paved around the detention basin. Already red-winged blackbirds were calling from reeds that were growing in the upper end of the detention basin. Really seems like a nice habitat addition and preserve and park visitor amenity to the park. So it's great to have a flood control project that also adds to the enjoyment of visitors when they're coming to the park and preserve. So thank you very much to our partners at the Santa Clara County Parks and Valley Water for a great project that was really conducted without a lot of impact on preserve and park visitors and accomplish the goals of flood protection. So thank you very much. Have a great day. Come out and enjoy the park and preserve. Welcome to Rancho San Antonio.
And thank you, Brian. Thank you to you and to Mid-Peninsula. I agree. It's always good to have multiple crown jewels to choose from. So it's good that you're able to name several, but this is definitely one of the crown jewels I think we can look at. And I want to thank you and Mid-Peninsula for your collaboration and for your patience. I know that building these kind of projects definitely is trying on people's patience for the utilization of this. I'm hoping after this ribbon cutting, people will flock in there and be able to understand what they've been waiting for and why this has been so beautiful. And speaking of beautiful, we're going to be looking at a video that really does capture the entire 10-mile length of the Permanente Creek Flood Protection Project, which goes from San Francisco Bay southwest shoreline through Mountain View to Rancho San Antonio. I'm going to ask the staff if they can go ahead and play this video. It's about 2.5 minutes.
at McKelvey Park, you'll find a beautiful new baseball field that's also popular with our four-legged friends. But when you look beyond the freshly cut outfield grass, you'll see this facility serves another very important purpose: reducing flood risk. It's part of Valley Water's Permanente Creek Flood Protection Project, an effort nearly 2 decades in the making.
I want to thank the community and residents of Mountain View for their support of this project. This innovative flood protection project was brought to life by the excellent staff of the City of Mountain View, the staff of Valley Water, and really hardworking contractors and consultants.
The project protects homes and businesses along a 10-mile stretch of Permanente Creek from the southwest shoreline of the San Francisco Bay through Mountain View to Foothill Expressway in Los Altos. Here's a closer look. Near Highway 101, new flood walls were built. At McKelvey Park during heavy rain events, stormwater from Permanente Creek will be funneled into the sunken baseball fields, which also serve as a flood detention basin. Nearby, Permanente and Hale Creek channels were widened and deepened, replacing aging infrastructure and improving the capacity of the creeks to safely carry stormwater away. While the project completes the flood protection improvements, we still have ongoing work to do to rehabilitate and replace sections of aging infrastructure along the creek. Then, outside of Cupertino, the Rancho San Antonio Open Space Preserve is home to 2 new water catch basins. It would take a 100-year storm to fill these basins, and the water would drain away in 4 days.
Permanente Creek provides multiple benefits. The project not only protects homes and businesses and city streets from flooding, the project also enhances environment by replacing invasive species with native plants and trees for the community to enjoy.
Permanente Creek's history of flooding dates back to the mid-1800s. Not only does this project help turn the tide, dramatically improving flood protection, it enhances the environment and provides recreational opportunities so we can all safely enjoy the community we love well into the future.
Oh, wasn't that wonderful? So these are the kind of environmentally friendly, multi-use projects that we are proud to build, the community expects, and the voters clearly said that they want. You know, this video clearly demonstrates that how working together we can achieve something that provides all the benefits that we're talking about. So this is truly something that, again, was a multi-collaborative effort in order to get here. And so I do want to again thank the staff and the contractors for their contributions. I do think that we have a long list and slides with names of everyone that had participated. So I'm hopefully we'll be able to show all the folks that were involved in design and construction, environmental mitigation and monitoring, operations and maintenance, residential inspectors. We had communications professionals and water policy and planning professionals, environmental services professionals, and even those that have retired both during this project a little bit before this was able to go. So thank you to everyone for all of your participation. Also, when you're building these kind of projects, one of the things that you have to do is also work with the Native American stakeholders. And I do want to thank Andy Galvin and his team for doing such a wonderful job with the archaeological work on this project. These kind of projects would not be possible without them. So as we look to folks like Granite Construction, the Native American consultants, construction management teams, the federal and state regulatory agencies, the environmental firms that were there, thank you to each and every one of you for making sure that we could be successful, because we couldn't do it if we were not working together. So now I want to move into the part that we've all been waiting for. This is again our first virtual ribbon cutting video, our first virtual ribbon cutting that we've had and on Zoom, so or at least for our flood protection project. So I do want to share that. Obviously, we'd love to have done this in person, and I know that just in a few weeks, June 15th, we may be able to go back to doing this in person. I'm not sure what the governor's office is going to say or what county health is going to say, but I do look forward to being able to do all of this live again. And so at this, I'm going to turn it over to staff to move into our virtual ribbon cutting.
The detention basin that you see behind me, along with the detention basin in McKelvey Ballpark and improvements made to Permanente and Hale Creek, will now provide flood protection for over 2,200 homes
in Mountain View in Los Altos. That means folks are not going to have to pay for flood insurance at all. Additionally, park users here are going to get new bathrooms and more parking and better places to drive.
Obviously, the detention basin provides flood protection to the downstream communities by temporarily hold the peak flow during high intensity storm events. However, let's not forget the environmental benefits that's provided to the entire San Antonio preserve by the over 200 native plants and trees that we planted as part of this project, and also acres of wildlife habitat and wetland that are restored as part of this project.
This project represents a successful partnership by blending uses that may, at first glance, seem incompatible: flood management and park visitor access. Yet the County of Santa Clara and Valley Water were able to accomplish this by combining improvements to the park's trails, habitat, and facilities while creating this flood management basin to protect the public.
The Mid-Peninsula Regional Open Space District manages Rancho San Antonio County Park, and we're really excited about all the improvements that Valley Water made for park visitors, including the parking lot and restroom that they're currently using, and the new trail connections that will be opening up.
Flood protection.
All right, well, congratulations on everyone. We now have a project that's not going to only provide for flood protection to the various Los Altos and Mountain View neighbors. It's not only going to provide for environmental and recreational benefits, but as Vice Chair Kremen pointed out, this is going to put money back into the pockets of homeowners and residents that once were in the floodplain. So congratulations to everyone on such a successful ribbon cutting. And I want to remind folks, if you want to share any of the videos that you saw today, or even be able to share this video, it's going to be available on our project page at valleywater.org under the project updates linked to the Permanente Creek Flood Protection Project. Again, I want to thank all the speakers today. I want to thank all of the event participants. I want to thank all the contractors, the construction folks, but most of all, I want to thank the employees of Valley Water and our directors for their leadership in terms of making this happen, as well as the public and the businesses and many others who had to be patient to ensure that this happened, as well as the voters of Santa Clara County. Thank you. Congratulations to everyone, and thank you for joining us today. It's been wonderful.